what I have discovered is that women are very good at pretending to be okay. Many times we suppress what we're dealing with and we cover it all up. Women are natural nurturers. In fact, we often help and support others even when we are facing a challenging situation ourselves. Unlocking your destiny is going to require that you add yourself to your priority list. You need you.
Miss Schrader. Here you go. That's how you spell it. All right, y'all. That's y'all motivation for the day. Hope y'all enjoyed that. All right, we going digital. When did everything go digital? Nope. Here we go.
Since the beginning of human civilization, technology has played an essential role in the development of society.
Okay.
Technology has played a significant part in the formation of the world as we know it today, beginning with the creation of relatively basic instruments such as the wheel, fire, and stone axes, and progressing to the development of very sophisticated systems such as computers and the internet. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today's question of the video is how evolution of technology has changed the world. So let's get into our time machine and take a look at the evolution of technology. The early days of technology. The early days of technology were characterized by simple tools and inventions such as the wheel, fire, and the stone axe. These tools were used for basic tasks such as hunting, transportation, and construction. Over time, as civilizations developed and grew, so did the need for more sophisticated tools and technology. The invention of the wheel, for example, made it easier for people to transport goods and travel from one place to another. The use of fire allowed people to cook food, stay warm, and ward off predators. The stone axe, on the other hand, made it easier for people to cut down trees and clear land for farming. The invention of writing, for example, allowed people to record and share information, leading to the development of early civilizations and the creation of written records of human history. The development of metalworking, on the other hand, allowed for the production of more durable and efficient tools and weapons, leading to significant improvements in agriculture and warfare. The Agricultural Revolution. The Agricultural Revolution marked a major turning point in the evolution of technology. It was during this time that humans began to cultivate crops and raise livestock, leading to a stable food supply and the development of settlements and civilizations. The plow was one of the most important inventions of this period, as it allowed for more efficient farming and the cultivation of more land. The development of irrigation.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, Dan F. Man. It's good to be back in here from a little vacation. And you know how I get down. We're gonna get it started. Let's get our motivation in here for the day. And then we talking about the pros and cons again of some of this tech that's out here. I wanted to retouch on the subject myself personally, so let's go. Motivation for today. Oh, no. Motivation. What are we on for women? Because yesterday we missed it, so motivation for men will be tomorrow. Well, on Mondays. Let's go. Hopefully we heard this one.
You sent in a proposal, but your manager has so many questions.
You will have to become someone you've never been before. You want to go somewhere you've never gone? You got to do something you've never done. You got to say something you've never said. You got to go to a place in you that you've never even been. You get to redesign. You are your Michelangelo. You are your greatest sculpture. And you get to recarve and you get to up-level as much as you need. You're not sentenced to this life this way. You chose it. You get to choose as much as you want. You get to design it any way you choose. You're not sentenced to your future. You have an opportunity to your future. What do you want and how do you want it? And if it doesn't make you a little afraid, then you ain't playing big enough.
Oh my gosh.
Your knees are supposed to knock a little bit. Your teeth are supposed to chatter a little bit.
Okay.
There's supposed to be at least 2 butterflies in your stomach.
Right.
At least.
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
if not, you're playing inside your comfort
Yes,
zone.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And we mistake the fact that we're supposed to be comfortable 24/7. Well, let me tell you something. Comfortable is equivalent to complacent.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll choose inconvenience every day, any day, to make a difference on the planet. I don't mind being mildly to moderately to significantly inconvenienced to leave my fingerprint on this planet. So I just came to talk to the game changers and to the change agents who are willing to confront any part of you that's not speaking to your madly, wildly amazing future. I stand here in my greatness. I own my light. I own my brilliance. I am bold. I am courageous. I'm perfect in my imperfection. This is my time. This is my time. I'm bright enough. I'm old enough. I'm young enough. I've experienced enough. I'm wise enough. I understand that I am enough. Breathe. Own it. Own it.
Yes, ma'am.
Ask yourself, what's my dream? What's my dream? I came to challenge you to play in the biggest field you've ever played in. I came for you to challenge the fear that might be inside of you and to redesign and reprogram it. You look at it long enough, you be with it intimately enough, and it has to dissipate. You are the designer of your destiny. You are the author of your autobiography. You write the story of your life. No one can write your financial story. No one can write your spiritual story. No one can write your emotional story but you. The pen has always been in your hand. The pen
Yes, ma'am.
has always
Yes,
been in
ma'am.
your hand. I say write a story that's going to be damn good to
Yes,
read.
ma'am.
And ask yourself, what's my dream? What are you willing to do that you've never done before? What are you willing to say that you've never said before? Are you willing? Are you willing to do that thing you've never done before? Are you willing to stand at the edge of your own greatness? Are you willing to look at your fears? Are you willing to recognize that you can be afraid? Are you willing
Yes,
to look
ma'am.
at the fact that there is always healing to come? There's always growth to come. There's no arrival. Are you willing? And then in the space of that, are you still willing to lean to the edge? Feel the breeze of possibility, not knowing if you will fly or fall. Are you willing? Are you willing to not quite know what's there, but that something is there is greater than you? Are you willing to say, my life has to make
Yes,
a
ma'am.
huge difference? You've heard me say this before, that there's a birthday and a transition day, and in between that is all the opportunity in the world. That's that dash that says, are you willing to disrupt my life? You're not here. You're not put here to leave my life calm. You're here to be a disruption for my life. You're here to cause me to want to be someone I've never been, do something I've never done because you crossed my path. Are you willing to show me that place? It's going to cost you more time than you thought you'd have. It's going to cost you way more money than you thought you would invest. It's going to cost you some friends who couldn't make the entire journey with you. It's going to cost you that sense of, oh my God, I got to leave. I got to die to the old me to allow the new me to be born to my future. It's going to cost you something. This is the year for reset. This is the year for restart. This is the year for reignite. This is the year for repeat the things that you love. This is the year for recommit. This is the year for redesign. This is the year for re-engage. This is the year for restart. This is that year. I stopped by to ignite your fire.
Yes, ma'am.
I stopped by to have you confront fear. I stopped by to have you look at what it's cost you and to make a bold declaration. The next time it rises up, you rise up a little bit higher than it. Yes. I stopped by for you to no longer make fear your enemy. Make fear your fuel.
Yes, ma'am.
I stopped by to redefine fear. To redefine it. Because fear is an emotion like any other emotion. Fear is an emotion like love, like compassion. Fear is an emotion, we just gave it more power. We just gave it more power. Compassion, oh, that's nice. Fear, ooh. we gave it a meaning.
Yes.
And some of you know, you've heard this before, that fear is false evidence appearing real.
Okay.
Now it's time to literally biohack the impact that fear has had on you. That fear no longer becomes your fortress, fear becomes your fuel. Fear is that thing that pushes you forward. Fear is the thing that reminds you, oh, I need to go get more information. Oh, fear will keep you up at night studying. Fear will take you to a coach or a mentor. Fear will cause you to eat a slice of humble pie. Repeat after me. I am ready.
I am ready
for my next best season.
my next best season.
Because I know that I am the author of my autobiography. I am the designer of my own destiny. I am writing my life story. And I'm writing a life story that I'm going to love reading.
Yes, ma'am.
And others will be inspired by. On one page, they'll read my fear. And on the next page, they'll know I did it anyway.
Yes, ma'am.
I commit to hold fear in one hand and passion in the other, and leap and leap and leap every time. Every time. I ask that each of you hold me accountable to my contribution on this planet. Turn to someone and say, don't let me off the hook.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, y'all heard what she said. Don't let him off the hook. Don't let me off the hook, them off the hook. We got to make a better planet out here. All right, y'all. That was some good motivation. I don't know about y'all. It's for women, but it's by a woman, so it really was for everybody. It don't matter. Motivation for women on Tuesdays, though, by the way, y'all. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our topic for the day, which is pros and cons. As you know, it's Tech Tuesday, so we're going to look at some more pros and cons of some of the technology that's out here. And what I specifically want y'all to see is social media. Boom. Let's work it out. Together. Oh, this is nice and easy, too.
We consider the advantages and...
All right.
Social media has changed the way that we keep in touch with friends. get news, and interact with people all over the world. It has opened up new possibilities for us,
My man's talking slow, but we need
but
that.
can also be very addictive. In this article, we consider the advantages and disadvantages of social media. Connectivity. Thanks to social
All right,
media,
man, you're killing me. You was killing me. So hold on, y'all. Give me a second. We don't see all of that all the time. Ain't no talking in this video, apparently. Which makes me mad, because I don't want to hear a fluffy beat.
You can cut your SaaS spending in half with this
I'm
one
sorry if y'all
tool.
was reading
ClickUp
that,
is an
but
all-in-one
ain't nobody trying to
project
hit no
management
fluffy
system
beat
that
over
can
it.
literally...
Is social
Thank you,
media
there go
good
Maze.
or bad?
Same beat, but it's somebody talking.
Some of the bad things that might come with social media are these. 1. Distractions. Things that might interrupt your personal life online. 2. Cyberbullying. People hurting other people online. 3. Your digital footprint. Everything you post and share online stays online forever. And number 4, risk. Not knowing what's inappropriate to post online.
Some of the good things that come with social media are, number 1, it's a great learning tool. You can use it in the school, you can use it outside of school, you can just use it in general to be creative. Number 2, it's great for student collaboration. You can use it with a friend on a school project, or you can use it in the classroom in a variety of different ways. Number 3, it encourages student partnerships. As a student, you can communicate online, you can create online. There are plenty of different ways to use social media to connect and work together. Number 4, it's a great way to connect. If you're a teacher, you can connect with your students on social media, or if you're a student, you can work with other students and connect with them online to work on a project outside of school. Those are just a few ways social media can be good or bad.
That's better. Now I just needed something quick. Let's see what he say.
There are basic principles how to build a network. And we have to use technology in order to network based on the principles. We shouldn't network based on the technology available. If we would network based on technology available, we are lost on the long term. Because we are going to have thousands of contacts, we're going to have thousands of friends, but we're not having these meaningful relationships, what we really need. And I'm not just talking about about business relationships. I'm also talking about personal relationships. So,
just in case y'all can't hear, because the audio quality, what he's saying is, yeah, on some of these apps and some of these platforms, we're going to have thousands of friends and a bunch of interactions, but you miss that intimate, like, one-on-one, face-to-face, and it's a lot more that goes into it when you actually dealing with real people. We know when we call the customer service lines, and we get the machine. But go ahead.
one trend is going to be face-to-face. And there are a lot of, for example, about personal relationships. So one trend is going to be face-to-face. And there are a lot of, for example, a small startup which is called Grub with Us. Good company, good firm, really had a lot of traction right now in the last couple of years. Really going back, meeting face-to-face, sharing a common theme, and then connect with each other, but using technology and using the internet in order to bring this connection to the next level. So this is the base from my point of view, and this is the foundation for networking. So what are now the modifying factors? I think it's really important that we have a manageable number when it comes to networking. If you go to an event and you have there 100 or 200 people, it's really difficult to you to relate to somebody,
right?
because if you think about,
you're right about that. Okay, I'm gonna let him finish. I'm sorry.
Difficult to you to relate to somebody, because if you think about, when you go there, you have probably 5, you can talk to 10 or 15 people max. It's not possible to really go through and shake hands with everybody, and then at the end you have probably spoken to 2 of them, but you haven't had any possibility to really deeply network. So what I've seen with other social networking sites which are coming up right now is that they try to reduce the amount of people in one area, so that you really have the possibility to be in an intimate environment like we are right now, and have the possibility to talk to your neighbor and really exchange not just one thought, but maybe 2 or 3 or 4 thoughts. And why is this so important? Because the most important thing in networking is you have to share a theme.
I don't know about y'all, but I enjoyed that one. So what he said that struck me the most is, let's say you go to an event.
Spring
right?
is all about fresh starts.
And that event got 200 people there. It's impossible for you to meet all 200 of them people. So we should apply that to the way we think about social media as well. Because imagine you got 100K. Imagine you got 100K followers. And I guess that's why the terminology has changed too. That's why they don't call it friends no more. They just call it followers. But imagine you got 1,000, 100K of these people that are your friends, followers, whatever one you want to say. Imagine you got them. You can't possibly talk to everyone. Imagine each one wrote you a letter or wrote you a message. How long would it take you to answer each message from 1,000 people? So getting a more intimate experience with less people is crucial to actually getting any kind of specialized talk service or anything done where you're trying to get your point across or connect with somebody. You need a less people. Whereas if you're doing a speech in front of 1,000 people, you're still going to get your point across to those people that you reach, but you could do it more intimately and more direct with less people. All right, let's move on. Dude beating me in this game, but yeah, it's okay. All right. Let's get one more. Is this just a music video? Oh, y'all just pissed me off. Nobody trying to see no damn music video.
Start a business or journey. Today we're going to talk about how to claim your social media profiles and why you should do it now. Whether you want to start a business, or maybe you plan on becoming a social media influencer, or you just thought of like the best handle ever, either way, you should go grab your coveted name now, even before you create your business, launch a website, or register your domain. And if you haven't grabbed your desired handles yet, especially if you're already doing business, well, you're already behind.
But first, here's how to get the right handles. Assuming you don't already know, you'll need to keep it to 15 characters or less. Also, it shouldn't be
this is
too
good for y'all
clever,
people who ain't did this
too
yet.
long or hard to spell. However, choosing a completely original brand name can improve your chances of securing the perfect handle across multiple platforms. A relatively short and to-the-point handle contributes to the clean and memorable social media branding. It should be quick and easy to say and spell so your ideal customer can find you better.
And then be sure to check each social platform to see if your desired handle is available. And thanks to sites like Noam, you can check the availability of your username on multiple social sites at one time, which is super efficient. Therefore, I love it. And most offer the option to create your profile on each of those sites for a fee.
So the reason I'm watching this right now is because if you're not familiar, which we all are, but, well, at least to some extent, if you're not familiar with the way that this stuff works, you might think that it's this fanciful world of buying stuff and shopping and talking to people and being popular. But let me be direct with you. Let me be direct. Just after 1 minute and 30 seconds of this video, roughly, you creating a whole nother life in a whole nother universe. That's why they hence to call it the metaverse. You're creating another person, another entity in another world. And you're going to do business as this person. You're going to buy things as this person. You're going to talk to people as this person. That's what it is. Don't get it twisted. So let's see some of the cons of social media. Cons of social media. Let's jump straight into it. Forget all that bull.
Very secret to juggling work, a social life, and daily workouts. Hint, it's not more coffee.
Social media are technologies that allow users to create and share information with others. Examples include sites like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. We're looking at the pros and cons of social media today. And so that each side gets its say, I'm breaking the debate down into two broad topics that represent what I think social media brings to the world. That is, greater connectivity, being able to connect with people far easier and far quicker, and having a lot more information readily at our fingertips. Let's get to it. One of the greatest pros of social media is how easily and quickly it allows us to connect and communicate with others. Most of the time, for free. We can get news in real time and message each other instantly. Long gone are the days of having to write letters, and we no longer have to rack up expensive phone bills just to call each other. Social media profiles also allow us to represent ourselves and connect to people with similar interests, which is really useful for dates and also in the job market. People can market themselves to potential employers who are in turn more easily able to find people on sites like Facebook and LinkedIn. One significant con this greater connectivity has is that having people doing everything through a screen can risk stopping them from meeting up in person. In the past, before instant messaging, people would write letters and maybe call their friends. But the focus here was always about setting up face-to-face meetings.
Right.
Opponents argue that social media gives people one more reason not to meet up, which can have detrimental effects on our social skills, as well as on our human need to talk to people face-to-face. On a more positive note, one of the advantages of greater connectivity is that it allows us to inspire others to do things. Major social movements have originated on social media, like the Black Lives Matter movement and Occupy Wall Street. Furthermore, social media can increase voter participation. As well as this, crowdfunding sites shared on social media platforms have generated millions for projects that otherwise would not have garnered as much. On a smaller scale, people deciding to make positive lifestyle changes, like losing weight, can share this on social media platforms, causing a domino effect which inspires others to make similar lifestyle changes. On the other hand, this can have the inverse effect of making people feel more self-conscious about themselves. This is because social media allows us to portray the best possible version of ourselves, which can lead to people comparing themselves to others and setting ridiculously high standards, which can be very detrimental to mental health. As well as this, the fact that people can portray a version of themselves different to how they actually seem can incentivize bullies and, at worst, child predators. The other thing social media gives us is lots of information. Sites like YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter allow people to write posts and share videos to millions of others. Furthermore, many people now get the majority of their news from sites like these, which can be accessed in real time and stay up to date almost in a second. This arguably results in people being better informed. Sites like YouTube are also beneficial to children and adults alike, because they can use them to watch educational videos like the one you're watching now. More information that can be accessed quicker means we become more productive, right? However, you could argue that this excess information leads to the inverse, people becoming less productive with their time, because people end up getting distracted by social media. This isn't helped by the fact that sites like Facebook and Instagram use algorithms that make you want to continue scrolling. They're almost addictive. This excess information also arguably doesn't broaden people's horizons. Instead, it tends to solidify existing divides. Take the millions of times fake news sites were shared in the run-up to the 2016 presidential election. A Stanford University paper that I've linked in the description shows how these same sites continue to be accessed over 70 million times a month after the election. Again, social media algorithms do not help in this department. Sites make money from adverts, so they want you to stay on the platform as long as possible so they can show you as many ads as possible. To keep you hooked, they show you what you want, reinforcing pre-existing biases and leading to this echo chamber-like state where people hear what they want to hear. This point about advertising is also important because although it allows social media to be free and employ millions of people, to market ads correctly, sites end up collecting lots of info about us, including our sexual orientation, whether we're depressed, etc. To conclude, social media allows us to connect to each other for free. It also allows us to access almost unlimited amounts of information instantly.
That was never given to us.
There are many extra benefits to this, in terms of making us smarter and more knowledgeable about each other, but also disadvantages in that it can reduce face-to-face contact, make people compare themselves to others, and have social media giants know a lot about us from the data we share. What do you think about social media?
So I think the biggest part of all of that is just the data that's collected, but still again, this is unprecedented. I'm noticing it myself because I have a time to reference, whereas someone younger than me ain't got no time to reference. You know what I'm saying? It's their first time. This is an unprecedented time in human history. We got access to information that it ain't never been like before. So imagine this. You had to go to the library to do your book report because the library had all of the books. You ain't got to go to no damn library to do no book report. People ain't even doing no damn book reports in school no more. You know what? I just came up with something new on my show. Everybody who's listening right now, find out when the last time somebody did a book report. Like whether it be a college student, middle school, high school, whatever. Find out when the last time they did a book report, because that's what we're talking about here. All of this technology has made it easier for us to be smarter. It's okay. As a matter of fact, people so smart, they working hard to be dumb because there's so much information around you. Like I said, we're living in an unprecedented time. So with so much information, something has to lose out. We have to lose something. With us having so much information, what we're losing is our connection to one another. And that's fair, a fair trade-off. We smarter, but we don't want to interact with each other. And I would say that since we smarter, that's why we don't want to interact with each other. We like, this motherfucker thinking something I don't want to be even a part of. You know what I'm saying? So that's not the best trade-off, but hey, it'll balance itself out as we go along. If you ask me, before we get to it far into this discussion, because it's almost 9:30, I'm going to say that unlimited access to information has made us dumber. But those who truly use the information for growth, not saying you're more intelligent or you're smarter, but you're more capable because of the increased access to information, whether it be information about what your neighbor doing on a vacation, or whether it's Googling how to build a shack in the back of your house that's going to take care of your vegetables and all of that stuff. Now, with that being said, let me go on to some more other people talking. All right.
My boyfriend and I have been arguing because he won't pay for YouTube Premium. But it's okay because I just downloaded AdBlock from Capital One Shopping. It blocks ads on my favorite sites, even YouTube.
You giving me an ad about how to block ads. Come on, man. Shut the hell up. Excuse me. Let's see what some other people got to say. More than likely, they're going to say pretty much the same thing, but...
Social media has become an integral part of our lives. It is a platform that allows people to connect with each other, share their thoughts, and express themselves. While there are many advantages to social media, there are also some disadvantages that cannot be ignored. One of the most significant advantages of social media is its ability to connect people from all over the world. Social media allows us to communicate with people we would not otherwise have the opportunity to meet. It provides a platform for socializing and networking, which is crucial for building relationships and making new friends. Moreover, social media has become a vital tool for businesses and entrepreneurs to market their products and services. It enables businesses to target specific audiences and engage with them through personalized content. Social media has also made it possible for individuals to showcase their talents and skills to a broader audience. However, social media has some significant disadvantages. One of the most significant drawbacks is the impact it can have on mental health. The constant need for validation and comparison can lead to anxiety and depression. Moreover, social media has been used as a platform for cyberbullying and harassment, leading to psychological trauma for many people. Another significant disadvantage of social media is the spread of misinformation. Social media has been used to spread fake news and propaganda, which can have serious consequences. It can lead to the spread of rumors and false information, leading to confusion and even chaos. In conclusion, social media has both advantages and disadvantages. While it can connect us with people from all over the world and help us market our products and services, it can also impact our mental health and be a platform for the spread of misinformation.
All right, so everybody's saying the same thing. So let's check this out then. Let me spark y'all interest. Spark it. God damn it.
Cyberbullying happens when someone posts or shares harmful or mean content about someone else on the internet, social media, apps, texts, video games, or digital devices. Take this example. Maddie took a screenshot of her classmate Shonda's photo from social media. She then used an app to make Shonda look like a monster in the photo and added some insulting words. After sharing it in a group text, some classmates replied with hurtful, mean comments about Shonda. Others laughed and shared it with others. Is it cyberbullying? Yes. Maddie wanted to embarrass Shonda, and by doing so, she encouraged others to do the same. What can Shonda do? Take screenshots of the cyberbullying. It's painful, but Shonda needs to document what happened in case it happens again. Shonda can also block the group texts. She should tell what happened to an adult she trusts. Together, they may want to report what happened to the school. How about this one? Malcolm plays multiplayer video games online with people he only knows through gaming. A few of them have added him on social media. One player, Lucas123X, or Lucas, used to chat with him a lot while playing, asking a bunch of personal questions. Malcolm answered and didn't think much about it. But one day, Lucas posted all kinds of personal information about Malcolm on social media, mixed in with lies and comments about his ethnicity and gaming skills. Is it cyberbullying? Yes. Lucas was trying to harm Malcolm and his reputation. What can Malcolm do? He can take screenshots of the posts and block Lucas on social media. What Lucas did may have also violated the rules of the social media site and the gaming platform. Malcolm should report Lucas's behavior to the sites. He can also avoid a game if he knows Lucas is one of the players. Malcolm can tell an adult about what happened. Together, they can help determine if they should report it to the police. And remember, never give out personal information to strangers. Here's another one. Jaden and his friend Dylan were having fun, kidding around after school. Jaden took photos and posted them online. One photo showed Dylan making a weird face, which they both found funny, but other kids who saw it started posting mean comments about Dylan's face in the photo. Dylan was upset by the photo and the comments. Is it cyberbullying? No.
Right.
If Jaden didn't mean any harm and he's willing to delete the photo, it is not cyberbullying. If Jaden doesn't delete the photo after seeing the negative comments being posted about his friend Dylan, he could be contributing to cyberbullying though. What can Dylan do? He can ask Jaden to remove the post and, in the future, to ask permission before sharing photos of him. If Jaden is a friend, he'll respect Dylan's request, apologize, and delete the photo. For more information, visit stopbullying.com.
Oh, Dr.
Imagine
Phil
you're
gonna
in the
bust my head if I put him on here. Hold up. Oh, this will be good.
Big ideas don't come easy.
Bullying involves an imbalance of power and the intent to cause harm. Bullying can be physical, verbal, or even virtual, such as cyberbullying online. In the 21st century, cyberbullies can reach your child anywhere at any time. Talk to your child about it, because they can be careless and vulnerable when they're online. They can also unintentionally hurt others, because they lack the feedback they get in the real world and can't see the pain they're causing. Be aware when your child is going online. Install parental monitoring software on their devices and tell them that you're doing so. And keep lines of communication open. If your child knows you're receptive, they are more likely to report cyberbullying behavior. If they do tell you about cyberbullying, respond calmly. Don't explode or overreact. Tell them not to respond because the internet lasts forever. Meanwhile, document the behavior by saving posts, taking screenshots, and recording screen names. And be ready to block any users who are cyberbullying. Remember, the quality of your child's friendships has a much bigger impact on their adjustment than quantity. Encourage your children to pursue interests and spend time with people who are kind to them. Children who engage in hobbies and group activities learn social skills, make friends, and are less likely to be bullied or bully anyone themselves. To learn more about protecting your child from cyberbullying, visit childmind.org.
All right, let's get one more.
With this age group of young adolescents, cyberbullying is at a rapid level just because they don't understand how quickly things are spreading by just a click of one button.
So I've seen a few times where cyberbullying's happened and how it's affected my students at school. The other students didn't know that they were even causing pain or hurt to the other student.
When we think about cyberbullying, we don't think that happens at an early age, and it does happen in elementary school.
I think I could go back to several examples of one in particular, two best friends who were always together, but one comment was posted online and they were ready to go to war to each other.
One of my students overheard us and she said, I was trying to go into this game and somebody else went in there and started bullying me.
You have something that occurs that could easily in 1 second be posted online and reach thousands and hundreds, millions of people.
Hey, I like the Common Sense Institute. All right, hold on there. So what about, I want to see this. This should be fun. Let's see. There we go.
Actors, we can make you believe we know what we're doing, when in fact, we do not. Whoops, I have no idea what these buttons do.
I've never driven a stick in my life, but my hardest roll yet!
Small business owner, because I have no idea what I'm doing. But GoDaddy Aero does, using AI to build a logo, website, and social content.
For Walton Goggins Goggle Glass.
Today, more than half of the Valley's engineers were born in other countries.
Doing something that is really innovative and cutting edge and that you can't do anywhere else. That is a compelling story, and that's why they come here.
The roster of immigrants who have shaped Silicon Valley includes Alexander Punyatov from Russia, founder of Ampex, Andrew Grove from Hungary, CEO of Intel, Jerry Yang from Taiwan, co-founder of Yahoo, Andreas Bechtelsheim from Germany, and Vinod Khosla from India, co-founders of Sun Microsystems, Elon Musk from South Africa, founder of Tesla, and from Russia, a young man named Sergey Brin.
Sergey's mother was disappointed he didn't complete his PhD, she told me. I was like, well, everything else turned out okay.
It's hard to think of another Valley company whose name is said as often by so many.
We say the internet gathered up all the world's information and gave us access to it. No, Google gathered up all the world's information and gave us access to it. It's really the ability to search for knowledge that is the transformative event of our era.
This global giant, like so many of the Valley's legendary firms, owes its founding to the Valley's magnetic attraction, a force that draws two ambitious young people here.
It's, two people out of Stanford, that never had a job before and started what today is one of the most successful companies in the world.
Larry Page is from Michigan. Sergey Brin, born in Russia, grows up in Maryland. After college, each wants to pursue a PhD in computer science. Each decides to come to the Valley, to Stanford, where in 1995 they meet. The next year, they decide to work together on a thesis project to improve the sorry state of search on the internet.
Search on the internet had become horrible.
The sheer amount of information available is immense, almost overwhelming.
And so finding things that were relevant was very difficult.
You might search for some important topic and you got somebody's kid's term paper on it, you got somebody who'd written about it, whatever.
You couldn't find anything anymore because the stuff you were looking for was like 100 pages down.
But Brin and Page think they found a solution.
The thing that really shifted was the recognition that deciding whether a particular thing was relevant to your search was not just a matter of looking at what was in it. You want to look for pages that other people think are valuable.
It's an idea they borrow from their parents.
Both Sergey and Larry were academic kids. Their families were professors, they were graduate students, and they were extremely familiar with the way that citations work in scientific literature. I write a paper, other people who think it's a good paper put a footnote in their paper pointing to my paper. And maybe you could take that same structure and import it to the way that people link one page to another. So if lots of people link to my page, it probably means it's a good page.
The idea was to build a system that you could reliably count how popular something was.
They named their search method after the mathematical term for one, followed by 100 zeros, intentionally misspelled.
I remember this day, the first search I did on Google was dramatically better than all the search that I had tried previous to that.
Page and Brin, who were planning to stay in school and finish their PhDs, set out to sell their spiffy new tool.
They were looking to license the technology, and you often think you produce something wonderful and other people would love the baby you've created and would want to raise it, but the reality is they got other things going on and it doesn't look as pretty to them as it does to you.
They spend a year looking, but no one will pay for the rights to their search engine. So they ask David Cheriton, who's an investor as well as a professor, if he can help them find money to start their own company. In 1998, he asks a Stanford alumnus who co-founded Sun Microsystems to come to his home to meet Page and Brin.
David thought it would be useful for us to meet and just sort of talk over of what it means to start a company if you're still a Stanford student. So we met at David's house in Palo Alto, and it was like early morning at 8 o'clock, and I had a 9 o'clock meeting at Cisco, so I didn't have much time.
Larry and Sergey arrived first, and so they were out there on the front porch with me and connected into my Ethernet at home, and Andy pulled up in his Porsche and hopped out, and they demoed the Google running on this laptop.
It was working astonishingly well, even as this small demo. So clearly, I thought this was going to work. That was not even the question. The only question was, how would they make money with this? So the next question was like, what's the business model? How you monetize this? And they would say, well, we can then link this all to these relevant ads. So relative to the search term you have, they could have this unlimited ad inventory and just you search for a tennis racket. Here's an ad from people who want to sell you tennis rackets, and and they will charge 5 cents a click for that, which is still the basic fee today. So in the back of my mind, I was calculating, they're going to get 1 million clicks a day at 5 cents a click, $50,000 a day. They cannot go broke. So it was clear that this was a money-making machine.
So he said, I don't want you guys to have to, take too low a valuation or to have to worry too much about these money things right now. Why don't I just write you a check? So he went back to his car, came back with his checkbook, and he wrote us a check for $100,000.
A new company is born, and soon a new verb, to Google. The website pulls in so much ad revenue that Google quickly becomes a very big business. When it goes public in 2004, it's worth $23 billion. By 2017, it's one of the most valuable companies on Earth, worth $600 billion.
Y'all hear that? So just think about social media and what it did after Google came along. Don't worry about what it was doing before or what any of this was doing before, because after Google, whenever Google came along, the internet is a different place. So whereas we looking at social media saying, hey, you know, this is bad, we got so many disconnects and we're not face to face no more. On the flip side of that, you don't have to go to the library to study nothing. You can go on Google and you'll find links to everything that's pretty much in the library. So we got a whole bunch of pros and cons with the tech. And I can't say enough how much I feel like this is the best time. If it wasn't, then I would feel different. But this is the best time. We got access to information. We don't have to go and beg somebody to teach us how to read. It's a good time, if you ask me. But that's just me. Feel free to, oh, that was some bull. Feel free to chime in at any time on how y'all feel. We're going to go and look at one more resource on this thing, and we're going to call it a day. Let me see. Okay, there we go. This will be good. 1 minute.
The history of social media. Today, social media is a term that everyone knows. Even the most remote areas of the world have at least heard of Facebook and Twitter, and are probably using them on a regular basis. But it wasn't always that way. The first social media was a website called 6 Degrees. 6 Degrees allowed users to create a profile and then friend other users. By the year 2000, around 100 million people had access to the internet, and it became quite common for people to be engaged socially online. Back in the early 2000s, the website MySpace was the popular place to set up a profile and make friends. MySpace was the original social media profile website, leading into an inspiring websites like Facebook. In 2004, Mark Zuckerberg launched what would soon become the social media giant that would set the bar for all other social media services. However, back in 2004, Facebook was launched just for Harvard students. Zuckerberg saw the potential and released the service to the world. In 2006, the popularity of text messaging or SMS inspired Jack Dorsey, Biz Stone, Noah Glass and Evan Williams to create Twitter, a service that had the unique distinction of allowing users to send tweets of 140 characters or less. Today, Twitter has over 500 million users. Although it is impossible to know what the future of social media holds, it is clear that it will continue. So, what's your favorite social media platform? Describe it.
Do you really want to spend
I really like YouTube. But, all right, y'all, we out of here for today. I hope y'all was able to weigh in some of the pros and cons of the tech on here on Tech Tuesdays for yourself. I'm your host, Dan F. Man. It's good to have y'all in here with me. And we're going to run off on y'all for the day. This is DGTA TV. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Find Your Way Wednesday. Sorry, I'm looking for something on my program, but yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Find Your Way Wednesdays. Y'all go ahead and listen to this outro, and I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Peace.
I think that you're smarter than them, and if you can master that technique, then you can get just about anything you want in any negotiation. I've found out to be true. Let people talk first. Try to get as much out of them as you possibly can, and then you can kind of figure it out. Like with Gotti, a couple of times I had to sit down with him. I knew that he could never believe that I was winning. So in the midst of the argument, I had to figure out what he really wanted and how I can get what I want, letting him think that he got what he wanted. It's all about how you carry yourself.
In the water,
arsenal. That he could never believe that I was winning. So in the midst of the argument, I had to figure out what he really wanted and how I can get what I want, letting him think that he got what he wanted. It's all about how you carry yourself.
In the warrior arsenal, we have different tools. We have physical tools like talent, mobility, strength, coordination, techniques, leverage, angles, timing. But if you're talking about mind, we have different tools, visualization, emotional control. In the spiritual side, we have hope, we have faith, we have patience. Those elements, they give you a chance of letting the situation cook in a slow burn and see how it goes. Because if you're impatient, if you don't have the hope, if you're not believing in yourself, but if you faith, you're gonna find the light, you're gonna find the hole, you have the hope, you think it's gonna do well. So you become smoother even in the bumpy rides. So I start to feel like my growth was depending on this growth, not only physical, not only mental, but also spiritual.
I think one of the things that people struggle with